Hey guys, good morning. It is Thursday. So, a lot of you know how kind of my week lays out, but Wednesdays, I'm always like so renewed and energized coming off of a Wednesday because Wednesdays is when we do the bulk of our coaching to our clients. So, we start off Wednesday mornings at bright and early, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time with our masters. And these are people who have been through the intensive portion of our stopover eating program. These are people who are hitting their short-term weight loss goals and now they're going into mastery. They're either going into the second half of the program or they're a member and they are now working on bigger goals. So now that kind of the fog has lifted, they have increased energy, they're way more productive. They're like on to bigger and better things. And so what we do with that group is we take all of the concepts, all of the skills that they learned in the first 8 weeks, and we start applying them through new vehicles, through new results, to new results that they want to achieve. And it's so fun to kind of tee it up differently for them. I get to talk differently. I get to kind of shift gears from like a metabolic focus, sometimes to relationships, sometimes to generating revenue, sometimes to overcoming like overspending or under earning. It's like you can apply these concepts to absolutely anything. And so I love working with my masters and my members to do that. So we specifically this week actually did have a metabolic focus because our members and our masters are getting ready to launch into a reset. What a reset is a guided fasting protocol. So all of our masters, all of our members have done a metabolic assessment that has really heightened their awareness as to some of the symptoms that they're experiencing. So that could be anything from like, stalled weight loss to brain fog, to gut health issues, to hormones out of whack, to, toxicity. There's all sorts of root causes and there's all sorts of symptoms that they might not even know that they're experiencing. So I have them engage in an assessment so that they have this heightened sense of awareness. And then we walk them through how to build out protocols that incorporate foods that fuel them along with fasting. And so we're entering into a 15-day reset. It's called the Metabolic and Immune Boosting Reset that is going to expose them to different ways of eating so that they can remedy some of those symptoms that they're experiencing, that they can take back control and overcome that. And it's just a really powerful exercise. Our members and our masters love it because it's guided. We like hold their hand every step of the way through it. So we tell them, okay, today's day 1. Here are the macros that you're going to be following. Here is the time that we want you to fast. And here is a recipe idea for you. So we have covered it all. We make it super simple. So this week we kind of laid out what those 15 days are going to look like for our masters and our members, getting them excited about starting that on Sunday, launching the next 15 days to really boost their immunity. Then at noon on Wednesdays, we tackle the class. So we always have a class that is in the intensive portion of our program. These are people who are really, really laser focused on becoming fat adapted. And so this week, these people are launching week 6. And what we focused on this week was using your mind, using your beliefs as a tool. Now, so many people go into weight loss programs saying, give me all the tools, tell me what to do, give me the boxes so I can check them off. And I'll tell you what, the one tool that you gotta be really focused on, the tool that you have to really strengthen is your mind. That's it. And there is such a lack of awareness around that. That's why so many weight loss programs aren't sustainable. So we take a metabolic approach, and I know that that metabolic approach works, but if you don't combine it with strengthening your mind, figuring out what it is that you have believed, what those beliefs are and why they were established and how you brought them forward and you're now operating your life from those beliefs. And oh, by the way, have you ever thought to even question those beliefs? And if those aren't serving you, how do you create new ones? So we talked a lot about that yesterday as well. I just got done coaching in Clubhouse. If you're not in Clubhouse, you guys got to get in there. It's a really cool, casual kind of podcast-esque, I guess, if you will. And I do free coaching in there too. So I do that at 8 o'clock on Thursday mornings. So I just got done with that. And we talked about one of the thoughts that I really wanted them to try on was, how do you think you are perceived? Like, have you ever asked yourself, like, what is it that I'm known for? And where does your brain go? Does it go outside of you? And do you think about how other people perceive you? Or do you go within and do you really look at how do you perceive yourself? Like, what is it that you think you stand for? Like, what is your purpose? What is your identity? Have you ever thought about that? And the reason why I love that question is because not only do I help people lose weight, and I use the same methodology, the model, the very simple science and math to help people lose weight, but I also help people start purpose-driven businesses. And these people have to know like what their values are, who they are, what their identity is, so that when they have to make these purpose-driven business decisions, they can go back to their values to allow that to guide those decisions. But one of the really cool exercises that we do is we actually send a letter out to very strategically chosen people in my client's life, and we ask them questions about, their perception of that entrepreneur. And it's one of the coolest experiences because these people are often so encouraged and so lifted up by what it is that they read, those responses that they read. I think it is really a way that if you don't know what it is that you stand for, if you don't know what how to build your identity, it's kind of a springboard for you. I don't think that you have to look outside of you. I think that decision can be made from within, but sometimes just having that awareness of how other people see you can be really motivating, and it can be a place where you can start and you can refine it. So I want you to kind of think about that. Like when I ask you that question of what are you most known for, where does your mind go? Does it go outside and does it think about what other people think of you, or does it go within? Like really take some time this week and think about that question. It is something that then I want you to kind of take a step further and ask yourself, does that answer serve you? Because if you went from within and you maybe looked backwards and said, I've always been a person who fill in the blank, but I actually really have these big, audacious goals, you might want to consider looking forward to answer that question. Like when people ask me, how do I identify myself? I identify myself as self-made in a whole lot of ways, in ways that my brain cannot even wrap itself around. Like, I know I'm a self-made millionaire. I know I'm a self-made wellness. Like I have the wellness that I'm super intentional about creating from a metabolic, from a physical, a mental, and an emotional standpoint. I so believe that, with every ounce of my being, but that's me looking forward. And I want you guys to notice where your mind goes. Do you start to look backwards to create the answer about your identity? It's just a means of heightening your awareness. So that's what I want to leave you with today. I want to encourage you to get into Clubhouse if you haven't yet been in there. There's some really amazing minds. You get this great opportunity to be exposed to some really cool thinking. If you're not in the student union, I know a lot of you are watching in the student union right now, but if you're not in the student union, that is our free private Facebook group where I do coaching on the regular, and you get a very strong sense of community in there. So if you're watching on a different platform, join us in the student union. We'd love to have you. We'd love to learn from you. And if you feel like you just like to kind of sit back and take it in, it's the perfect place for that as well. So I will leave you with that. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I'm here in Minnesota. We're just starting to see the signs of spring, so we're so excited. We are going to take in a baseball game, actually 4 of them this weekend. We're going to go visit my son in Iowa. So like those are all the signs of spring. So super excited. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you next week.